Hi there. Today we are going to discuss about units and measurement chapters. So in this session we are going to discuss what is a measurement, what are different units are available, what are the supplementary units, what are derived units, what are SI units. So all those topics we are going to cover in this session. So before going to units and measurement topic, let us know what is physics. In my point of view, understanding basic concepts of physics, solving problems is more important than memorizing the laws of physics and formulas. So then the question is, what is physics? Our universe is made up of matter and energy. In our nature, we see mountain, rivers, oceans, soil, fruits, flowers, uh, sun, moon. So everything is made up of matter, and matter is in turn made up of atoms and molecules. And then we have got heat and light energy from sun. We have got wind energy, geothermal energy, tidal energy from oceans, and we also know how to convert from one energy to another. So just for example, we know how to convert light energy to electrical energy into mechanical work or energy. So then physics deals with nature and properties of matter and energy. And common language for physics is mathematics. Why? Because we use differentiation, integration, and many differential equations in order to explain the concepts and laws of physics. And this physics is based on experimental observations and quantitative measurements. Just to give an example, so we have three major seasons: summer, winter, and rainy. In summer, it will be very hot, whereas in winter, it will be very cold. To know the actual temperature of our surroundings, we need to have an instrument, and we can measure the temperature uh, temperature of our surrounding. So for that we have got centigrade or Fahrenheit unit as a standard reference for the measurement of temperature. And we also have a simple mathematical formula to convert from centigrade to Fahrenheit and vice versa. So if you want to convert from Fahrenheit to centigrade, we use a simple formula: C is equal to 5 by 9 F minus 32. So now let us discuss what is measurement. So measurement, when we think of any measurement, so the tailor will come into our mind. For example, uh, for stitching a clothes, uh, so the tailor takes our measurement and accordingly he will stitch us the shirt. And when we buy some fruits, juices, milk, then uh, in some measured quantities. So to be quantitative in physics requires measurements. So to take another example, um, if we know that Undertaker is very tall, but this is just a qualitative statement. So if we want to know how tall is Mr. Undertaker and about his weight, then we need to measure his weight as well as height using using some instruments and also some standard reference called unit. So after measurement, I can say Undertaker height is, let's say, 2.08 meter and his weight is 136 kg. So measurement will have a number and a unit. Now, let's say if I say thickness of plate is 15, then it has no physical meaning. I have done thickness measurement and measured value is 15, but I have not specified the unit which I used during the measurement. So both number and unit is necessary for any meaningful physical quantity. So now let us move on to know what is a physical quantity. We know that many things can be measured: length, mass, time, and so on. So we can measure many things. The quantity which can be measured by an instrument and describes the laws of physical world is called physical quantity. For example, mass of a car and its acceleration can be measured by instruments. The mass into acceleration gives force acting on the car, and the formula F is equal to ma, where F is a force and it is a physical quantity. M is also a m is a mass and it is also a physical quantity, and similarly a is an acceleration, it is also a physical quantity. So F is equal to ma governs the Newton's second law of motion. So as I explained, unit is a standard reference for any measurement of a physical quantity. For example, length is a physical quantity whose unit is meters. Mass is a physical quantity whose unit is kilogram. And these physical quantities are related to one another. So we know speed is it is the ratio of distance covered by a car and time take divided by time taken. Now, so we have got three basic physical quantities. They are length, mass, and time. These are all very popular, and these are the three basic physical quantities which we should know. Now, let us see what are the different types of physical quantities. Basically, there are two types. Uh, the first one is fundamental physical quantity, and the second one is derived physical quantities. Fundamental physical quantities are independent and cannot be expressed in terms of other physical quantities. For example, length, mass, time. So in this, length is a fundamental physical quantity because the length cannot be expressed in terms of, let's say, mass or time. And similarly, we have mass, time is also a fundamental physical quantities. The second one is derived physical quantities. So these derived physical quantities they are dependent and can be expressed in terms of fundamental physical quantities. Example: speed, volume, density, and many more. So, so speed can be expressed using the fundamental physical quantities such as distance and time. So these fundamental physical quantities are the building blocks. Using those blocks, we can have many derived physical quantities. So far we have learned what is a unit. So unit is a standard reference used for the measurement of any physical quantity. There are many possible choices for units of length, mass, time. For example, we can say Mr. ABC's height is 229 centimeter, or AB's height is 7 feet 6 inch, or Mr. AB's height is 2.29 meter. Another example, in bakeries, bread is measured in pounds whereas butter in grams. So we have many possible choices for the units. Now let us discuss different Types of unit systems. Basically, there are three types: CGS, CGS system, centigrade, gram seconds system, then FPS system, foot pound second, and then MKS system, meter kilogram second system. So in CGS system, the unit of length is centimeter, the unit of mass is gram, and unit of time is second. Similarly, in FPS system, unit of length is foot, the unit of mass is pound, and unit of time is second. Whereas in NKS system, unit of length is meter, unit of mass is kilogram, and unit of time is second. So, uh, when I express the mass of a gold or a platinum, so I use unit in grams. Whereas, so while buying fruits and vegetables, I prefer the unit kilograms. So this is our day-to-day life experiences. But in physics, standard unit of measurement is very necessary, because lack of standard unit may cause confusion and waste of time in converting from one unit to another. So for having standardized and uniformity, scientists from all over the world have adopted the SI unit of measurement as a standard unit system for measurement. So now SI unit is being used as their official system of measurement in almost all countries. So now let us discuss more about SI unit. So SI unit is International System of Units. This was established in the year 1960, and this system contains contains 7 fundamental units and 2 supplementary units. And this SI unit is also having derived units which are obtained from fundamental units. These fundamental units are also called as base units. Joule, Newton, Watt, they are all the units in SI system. So Joule is an SI unit of energy or work. Newton is an SI unit of force. Watt is an SI unit of power. So as I said, so there are 7 fundamental physical quantities, and correspondingly SI units we have got. So length is a base quantity, or it is also called a fundamental physical quantity, whose SI unit is meters and represented by a letter M. So the next physical quantity is mass. Its SI unit is kilogram and represented by letters kg. Time is time is a physical quantity whose SI unit is second, represented by letter S. So electric current is a physical quantity. It is a fundamental physical quantity. Its SI unit is ampere and it is represented by capital letter A. So the next fundamental physical quantity is temperature. Its SI unit is Kelvin and it is represented by letter K. And the sixth one is amount of a substance. So its SI unit is mole and it is represented by letters MOL. The last 7th fundamental physical quantity is luminous intensity. Its SI unit is candela. It is denoted by letters CD. So luminous intensity is luminous flux per unit solid angle. We will learn in detail when we in photometry chapters. Now let us move on some of the prefixes used for small and large measurements. And these prefixes tell you how much bigger or smaller a unit is than the base units. So this is the tabulation of prefixes for small measurements. So prefix deci is represented by symbol D, which means uh, 10 times smaller than the unit it precedes. So deci is equal to the factor 10 power minus 1. So similarly, prefix centi represents centi represented by symbol C, and the meaning is it is 100 times smaller than the unit it precedes. So centi is represented by the factor it is 10 power, it is equal to 10 power minus 2. So similarly we have got milli, micro, nano, pico and femto. So this is the tabulation of commonly used SI prefixes for large measurements. So the prefix deca is represented by the letter DA. It means 10 times larger than it precedes. So for a deca the factor is 10 power 1. Similarly, we have hecto, kilo, mega, giga, tera and peta. So now we know that basic unit of length is meter. Then milli means it is 1 by 1000. So millimeter is 1 meter divided by 1000. So that is 1 by 1000th of a meter. It is also equal to 0.001 meter. For small measurements, we use centi, milli, micron prefix to base unit. For large distance, it is convenient to express measurements in kilometers. So the prefix kilo means 1000. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. Now let us move on to the examples for derived physical quantities. So this table will gives you derived physical quantity, relation with base and derived quantities, unit and some of the special names for the units. So area is equal to length into width. Its SI unit is meter square. So volume is equal to length into width into height. So its unit is meter cube. So similarly, we have got force. Force is mass into acceleration. So its unit is meter kg per second square, and it is having a special name called Newton. And we have pressure, which is equal to force divided by area. Its unit is meter square kg per second cube. And for that unit we have a special name called Pascal. So we have work, which is a derived quantity. Work is equal to force into distance, and its unit is meter square kg per second square. So the special name for this unit is joule. So then we have power. So power is equal to work by time. So its unit is meter square kg per seconds cube, and it is having a special name. The unit is having a special name called watt. Now let us discuss supplementary units. So we know that SI unit is classified into 7 fundamental physical units and 2 supplementary units. So supplementary unit is this supplementary unit is not a derived unit, so that we need to keep in mind. And this special class contains only 2 and they are geometrical units. They are radian, which is a unit of plane angle, and steradian, which is a unit of solid angle. The supplementary quantities, plane angle and solid angles, they are placed separately because these are all dimensionless quantities. So this means their value will not change even if we change the units of the fundamental quantities. It should be noted that the values of the derived quantities will change if the units of the fundamental quantities are changed. Just to give you an example, we know speed, its SI unit is meter per second, which is equal to distance upon time. Distance is measured in meters and time in seconds. So now if I change the unit of distance, if it is changed to centimeter and foot, then so we get 1 meter per second. Speed will be equal to 100 centimeters per second, which is also equal to 3.281 feet per second. So now you can notice that so the values of the derived quantities got changed when the units of the fundamental quantities are changed. So here I have only changed only one, the unit of only one fundamental quantity, that is distance. That is, I have changed from meter to centimeter and meter to feet. So the next important supplementary physical quantity is plane angle. So plane angle, so to discuss this, let us have a look at the figure shown on the right side. So here, let AP and BP are the two straight lines intersecting at a point P. Let S be an arc length. The angle theta between AP and BP is called plane angle. The angle between two intersecting straight lines is called plane angle, and it is measured in radians. So plane angle physical quantity, it's a two-dimensional angle. Now consider a circle, which is also shown on the right side bottom. So now consider a circle AO is making an angle theta with axis OX and having an arc length S. Then we define plane angle theta by theta is equal to arc length by radius. So the unit will be in radians. The unit of arc length is meter and unit of radius is also meter. So the units of arc length and radius get cancelled. So it's a dimensionless. But theta is having a unit called radian. So we know that for a complete circle, so theta is equal to 360 degree and S is equal to 2 pi r. I mean to say, circle has a total of 360 degree all the way around the center. Then arc length S is the circumference of the circle, which is 2 pi r. So then substituting these values in the relation theta is equal to S by r, we get 360 degree is equal to 2 pi r by r radian. Finally, 360 degree is equal to 2 pi radians. Similarly, for a semicircle, it will be 180 degree by 2 pi radian. So the next supplementary physical quantity is a solid angle. So this is a three-dimensional solid angle. So solid angle is an angle made by area cut on the surface of a sphere at its center. So please look at the sphere shown at the bottom right. Solid angle omega is made up of all the lines from the closed curve meeting at the vertex, and it is defined by the lines and it is defined by the surface area of the sphere subtended by the lines by the radius of that sphere. So the solid angle is a dimensionless unit of solid. It's a dimensionless unit. Sorry, solid angle is a physical quantity, and it is a dimension. It is having dimensionless unit. So the unit of the solid angle is steradian, and the expression for solid angle omega is given by area upon r square, steradian, where omega is the solid angle, a is the area on the surface of sphere, and r is the radius of sphere. Now let us define what is one steradian. So one steradian is the solid angle that subtends an area equals to r square on the surface of the sphere. So we have omega is equal to area on the sphere divided by r square. Now let us find the solid angle subtended by the total surface area of sphere at the center. So omega is equal to, so the total surface area of sphere divided by r square. So total surface area of any sphere is equal to 4 pi r square, where r is the radius. So substituting that in omega, we get omega is equal to 4 pi r square divided by r square steradian, which will be equal to omega is equal to 4 pi steradian. If the surface covers the entire sphere, then the number of steradian will be 4 pi. So this is all about supplementary angles, supplementary physical quantities, plane angle and solid angle. So thank you very much for watching this video. Good luck to you. So please like, comment, subscribe my channel, Passion for Physics. And once again, thank you very much for your support. Bye bye.